Hi, I'm Tianyan. Today I'm going to present the assignment 2, Teaching Toys in Classroom. For EDU 61104, New Pedagogies, Digital Toys and Resources. Firstly, I will going to introduce some background information of this teaching. For this teaching, I choose the students from the International Primary School, and they are 8 to 9 years old, and they are all Year 3 students. The number of the students is 20. It should be mentioned here that all students are of the mixed ability. In addition, the approach of pedagogy focuses on the student-centered learning. The subject I teach is the science. The topic of the teaching is living and non-living things, and the class time is 60 minutes. Besides, in this class, the students' learning problem is lack of the motivation. Next, I will going to talk about the teaching context. The topic I'm teaching is the living and non-living things. And the learning objective is that at the end of the lesson, students should be able to describe the characteristics of the living things and classifying the living and non-living things. In this class, I mainly designed the 3 activities to help the students achieve their learning objectives. First of all, the first pre-class activity is 10 minutes. Its purpose is to help the students become familiar with and understanding the scientific topic to be taught in the following class. So I will simply ask the question to students if they are living or not living, if their pets and the home are living or not living. Then ask the students to identify what they need to survive, and then I record the students' answers on the whiteboard. Next is the main activity. I plan to spend 30 minutes to complete this activity. In this activity, I will use a YouTube video to assess my teaching. First of all, I will show the YouTube video about living and non-living things that I have prepared in advance to my students and let them watch in class. Of course, based on the video, students need to do the corresponding task. That is, I will ask the students to work pairs and list the living things and non-living things that appear in the video, and write the reason why it's a living thing or why it's a non-living thing. After that, I will pair every 2 groups to discuss the answers within 10 minutes. Students can discuss their all doubts about the living and non-living things. And this time, students with a high ability in some groups could help the students with a low ability to answer their doubts and communicate together. After that, I will select 5 groups of the students and let them share their answers and give the feedback in front of the class. Next is a post activity, which is also an assessment activity, and I will spend the 20 minutes to doing this activity. In this activity, I will use Kahoot game to carry out the activity, which will include the 15 quizzes about the living and non-living things. And students should answer all quizzes by the tablet, and they should enter the game pin by tablet and join the game using the nickname. In the Kahoot, students have to answer each question in the limited time. Finally, the students with the most correct answer gets the highest score will be the winner. Next, I will go into talk about the selection of the technology. I have chosen the YouTube video and the Kahoot. You can take a look of the YouTube video.
Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon.
We see many things around us, like human, book, dog, house, and trees. Some of these are living things, while some of these are non-living things. Living things. Things that have life is called living things. Things like human, trees, and animals are living things. Non-living things. Things that do not have life is called non-living things. Things like book, house, and pens are non-living things. Living things can move, living things can grow, living things needs food and water to live, living things can breathe, living things can feel, living things can reproduce their young ones. Non-living things. Non-living things cannot move, grow, breathe, feel, and reproduce. Non-living things do not need food and water.
Okay, this YouTube video is about explaining living and non-living things. The video briefly and clearly explains to students what living and non-living things and their characteristics. Regarding the selection of video, I have selected an appreciate video. That is to say, it meets the teaching topic, and the video is simple and clear so that students can understand it easily. In addition, the time needs to be controlled within 5 to 7 minutes, which is short and allows the students to have enough time to discuss and doing the next task. The last point is the video is interesting and vivid to attract the students' attention. In the assessment part, I chose the Kahoot game. The software is a game format that allows students to answer the quiz that is set by the teacher. In the process of answering questions, which could make sure that every student is engaged in the class, and then students complete the assessment in a relaxed and pleasant environment. Then at the end of each quiz, Kahoot will display the correct and the incorrect answers. And then students can communicate the correct answers in the classroom. In this process, students have motivated and they can develop the critical thinking. Next one, I will going to talk about the purpose of the selection these two kind of the technologies. First of all, I want to increase the motivation of the students in the classroom. Because if you choose a classroom without technology, students will feel bored and lack of motivation to learn. Both video and Kahoot are technologies that can increase students' interest. We all know that interest is the best teacher, so with interest, students will have the motivation. In addition, videos can attract the attention to students. In class, students always like to be distracted and the time to concentrate is very short. A YouTube video can help them get more attention in class. At the same time, the video also presents the visual teaching, which can make the teaching content easier for students to understand. The purpose of choosing the Kahoot is to increase the students' participation in the classroom. Because every student participates in a Kahoot quiz, they can have fun while learning. Promoting students' active learning is also an important aspect. In Kahoot, students actively answering questions and memorizing are also a good way to help them learning actively. Finally, I choose these technologies to make my classroom more fun and to diversity classroom teaching. Students could experience the fun of using technologies through the video and Kahoot. Next one, I will going to talk about the preparation time involved for the classroom usage. I have chosen the YouTube video. This is 2 hours, and the Kahoot I will prepare it for 1 day. For YouTube video, I need to search for a suitable video on YouTube before the class. So I need to spend 2 hours looking for it, and then copy it on my courseware so that I can show it to my students in class. Then in Kahoot quiz, I need to prepare 1 day in advance. I need to set 15 quiz about living and non-living things. In the Kahoot software, I will add videos, images, and diagrams to my questions and then set the answers and so on. The last, I will talk about the impact towards the teaching and the learning approach. First, YouTube video use a direct visual presentation of what living and non-living things are, which can help the students more easily accept the transferred knowledge. Video combination of audio-visual teaching creates a learning environment conducive to the students' learning. Students will pay attention as put on the video, can help the students through the images and the sounds interpretation from the perspective of a variety of let students construct their knowledge and cognition. Additionally, through videos, students can trigger their own thinking and build knowledge in cognition with their own experience, so as to achieve independent learning and make teaching from passive to active. For Kahoot, it can make students become more attractive and fun, and students will enjoy the learning. It can deepen students' understanding, deep learning, independent thinking, and critical thinking, make teaching more effective and meaningful. To help the students review and test the knowledge in the form of the game to improve the students' participation and help the students to faster and more profound memory and review the knowledge. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thanks for listening. Thank you. Bye.